So first of all, let me introduce myself first. My name is Irene. I am one of the counselor in education AOI. Okay, so before we start talking about things, I want to introduce to you the education AOI. This on our Hondo website. I'm going to take you over. So in the main website, realhondo.edu, you can click on Explore Program. And then you scroll down here, there's different area. We are in education, so we click on here. And then down the bottom here, you will see the degree, the certificate we have. Also, meet your success team. You will see who are the counselor and other support in our team. So just a bit about, our team here, that if you need to have questions, you can email one of us. What the difference between child development career compared to early childhood education? Then we do have elementary teacher education. Then, what can you do with all those, major? What can you do? What type of career? And you have, so many questions. Now let's start with our presentation. First of all, we went over introduction. You guys kind of talk about your major, and a lot of you go with child development or early childhood education. So now, as you know, child development AS degree we have is called a local degree. Local degree meaning that you take your GE, your major courses, you get an associate degree. But with that degree, you will not be able to transfer. So in that options, and it's okay if you only choose to get an associate degree, and I will go over what can you do with that degree, what type of job. So in that option, you also have child development certificate. You can have preschool teacher certificate. With this one, you can see that if you take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 102, 106, 110, 111. You will be able to get a certificate. But then you also can get, special education certificate if you take CD 106, CD 110, CD 226, CD 232, you can get the special education certificate. Nowadays, if you have on your resume a certificate in special education, is really important, because when they hire you, they look for certain things like this. Also, we have a certificate in language literacy and certificate. Also, 4 classes, 106, 110, 120, 229. Now, beside the degree and certificate we have, I'm going to talk about permit. Okay, so a lot of you were wondering what permit and what certificate. We offer degree and certificate here at Real Hondo, meaning that once you finish your major requirements, you will get a degree. You graduate with an associate degree. Or if you decide to go with the certificate, you take the courses, you get certificate. But what about permit? Okay, so permit, you can, after you finish, you can obtain a permit by apply with the consortium. And the consortium give you a permit. So what does that permit do to you? Number one, if you take 6 units in child development, you can apply for assistant permit. If you have 12 units in child development, and those must be 106, 110, 111, 208 plus you need to have 50 days of experience, and it has to be minimum 3 hours per day. Then we can apply for associate teacher permit. Or you can apply for a teacher permit if you have 16 units of GE, general education, 24 units of child development, and 175 days of experience, again, 3 hours per day. Or if you graduate and you get a degree in child development, then you can apply for a teacher permit. So now let's talk about permit. If on your resume, you put down you have an associate or you have a certificate on your resume and you go apply. Usually beside your certificate or your degree, they will ask, do you have a permit? And because it's required by the state. And most of the time, the most important is associate teacher or teacher. That's what they ask. Because permit, what it does, it check your background. When you apply for a permit, number one, they will ask you to do live scan. They will make sure you have a clean background. They will make sure that you have completed all the requirements by the city or by the state that you are in. So the permit is like, you know, when you apply for a job, and I always tell my students, they ask me why I need the permit. And I said, okay, well, you apply for a job and on your resume, there is, you know, telling us that you have a degree. But how do I know you have a clean background? How do I know you never abused kids before? Then that's what the permit commit. Beside that, there's a core units, which is the 106, 110, 111, 208. Those 4 core classes, they want to make sure you know about the children you work with. So those core units, you might want to take them first. And then the 50 days of experience, you can volunteer, pay, or unpaid. As long as once we verify, they need to verify that you have been working 3 hours per day, and it must be in the preschool, okay? So it has to be in the preschool setting. It cannot be in kindergarten or any order 8. So it has to be in a preschool setting. Just make sure that. With this permit, it's only work for if you want to work in the preschool setting, okay? Anyone have questions about the permit? Now, do you understand the difference between the permit and the certificate and the degree? Feel free to ask me. You guys do not, you know, don't worry anything. I mean, I want you guys to feel comfortable.
So the permit is just for preschool teaching?
Yes, correct. If you only want to work in preschool, then you need the permit. But if you want to work from kindergarten to 6th grade or 5th grade, that is called elementary teacher, then you do not need the permit. Okay. Oh, no. Okay, now I'm going to go next. So what can I do with a child development degree? You can apply in the preschool teacher, okay? You can apply with the public school, or you can apply with the Head Start program. So normally if you apply in a private school, which is, you know, when my daughter was small, I sent her to one of the, you know, school is like, you know, the privately owned. So the teacher get paid very low. Normally you get paid a little bit more than minimum wage. So you don't get paid that much. But if you can get in a public school, then you get paid better. But the public school is a little bit more competitive. So public school, for example, here on campus, we do have a preschool. Or when my daughter was, in her preschool, she went to Santa Ana College. So they have a preschool in there. So then, if you can get in the public school, you get, a lot more pay. But they do ask you minimum, at least you have an associate degree or more, depend on the position you're applying for. And then you also, can work in the Head Start program. And you can Google for the Head Start location. The Head Start pay a little bit more because Head Start is funding by the government. So, with that, they pay you more. And usually Head Start also require you to have at least an associate degree in child development to be worked at the preschool teacher. So now I'm going to go back to the slide and you will ask me, what's the difference between associate teacher and teacher? In each of the classroom, there only one teacher, right? But then they only limit number of children in the classroom. So if in that classroom have more kids than what the state requirement allow, then they need to have an associate teacher to help. So with that, let's say in your area, one teacher can only work with 10 kids, but then you have about 15 or 18 kids in your class, then they need to hire an associate teacher. So the teacher will implement all the curriculums. And so you, as an associate teacher, you can, assist the teacher run the classroom. So that's what it is. That's associate teacher, you help with the teacher. But, you can start with like 12 units in child development, 50 days of experience, then you can apply as associate teacher. Or if you've been here and you have 16 units of your GE, 16 units of GE, which is like around how many classes? 16 divided by 3, about 6-7 courses, right? And then you need to have 24 units of child development and 170 days of experience. Then you can apply for the teacher permit. Go back here. I highly recommend you guys to write down at Joy. At joy.org is when you can search for all the job in teaching area. So I'm gonna, go on at Joy just to show you, so you can see. Okay, so as you can see at Joy, it will, post all the job in school setting, usually from kindergarten to 12th grade. So you can go in here, you can do all the job search here. You can, look for all the events that they posted on here. Okay, they have all full-time, part-time. Any questions regarding EdJoy? We're good? Are we okay, you guys? Okay, another website I highly recommend is cccregistry.org. This one, if you're thinking of applying for a job in community college, like in a public school, then you'll be able to apply for a job in this website, CCC Registry. When I apply for this job here, I usually, look for CCC Registry, so you be able to look for all the community college jobs on, to work on campus. Any questions about job search here? We're good? Let me see. All right, now I'm going to go on to talk about early childhood education. Oops, give me 1 second. Okay, now some of you might say, okay, now I decided to transfer and I want to get a degree in early childhood education. If you take all these courses, you will see they're pretty much the same with the child development. The only two different is child development 102 and 224, right? But if you take all of this plus one additional child development course, you will get 2 degrees. You will get early childhood education plus a child development degree. Which other student I have met, I always tell them to take one additional course so you can get 2 degrees. Okay, so what can you do with a child with early childhood education degree? Number one, this is called ADT. It means that this degree is for transfer. Not only you get an associate degree, but this you can transfer to all the Cal State. Okay, so if you're planning to transfer and you don't know what school yet, I'm going to provide you another website. It's called assist.org. Assist.org will tell you exactly what courses you need to have before you can transfer to that school. For example, I'm going to say like Cal State LA. Before you can transfer, beside your degree in early childhood education, you want to take additional the child development 211. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the how the assist.org works. So I'm going to go on here. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Yes? Thumbs up?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, on here, you will type in, I'm going to say, let's say you want to transfer to Cal State LA. So
I'm not able to see the screen.
No?
It shows
Okay.
me it loading.
Okay,
Same for me.
Is it okay now?
No, it keeps saying that it says Irene has started screen sharing and it's like loading.
So Irene, it could be that the student's Wi-Fi is still loading it, but I can see it. But it's loading for the other students.
Okay, so if it's still loading because of your Wi-Fi, wait a bit, and then when you load on, when it's appear on your screen, if you miss any part, just let me know, and then I'll go back and show you again. So don't worry, okay? So right here on the screen, it asks what institution, meaning what school you want to transfer to. So I'm gonna type in CSU LA. Just for now, you can. Okay. So then it asks me agreement with other institutions. So we're here at Real Hondo. We type in Real Hondo. And then I'm going to click on view agreement. Right here, it's asking me what major. So I'm going to type in child development. I'm going to click on it. So now you can see this is an articulation agreement by major between Cal State LA and Real Hondo. What does that mean to you? It means that Real Hondo, we have worked with Cal State LA, and we agree with number of courses that students must have before they can transfer. And with this website, you can check any Cal State or any UC, but no private school or no out of state, okay? So when you scroll down here, you can see that what the core requirements, so they require you to have child development 106, 114, 224, speech 101, CD 211, English 101. So most of you will have everything just except the 211. So when you want to Cal State, go to Cal State LA, make sure take the 211. Okay. So then now I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint. Make sure write on your note, assist.org is the website to help you to know what courses you can transfer to a 4-year university, Cal State and LA, right? With that. Now, with the Cal State and LA, with other Cal State, you just want to find out what fit with you, okay? What exactly when you want to finish with your early childhood education, what do you want to do? Now, it's important. Some of you might want to be a teacher. So if you want to be K to 5th grade, which is elementary teacher, after you finish the child development degree, or early childhood education degree, then you need to have 1 more year of teaching credential. Okay, so I'm going to say again. If you want to teach from K, which is kindergarten, and you want to teach to 5th or 6th grade, then you need to have a bachelor degree. You need to have a teaching credential. And then you need to have CBEST, CSES, all that, you do clear credential, which that will help you when you get into teaching credential. Teaching credential usually is like they help you to have experience in, teaching in front of the kids. So that usually is 1-year program, and you can apply in the same school that where you obtain your bachelor degree. Now, what if you want to be a social worker, or you want to be a counselor, or any area in the helping field? Well, if you want to be a social worker after you have an early childhood education degree, you can get your master's degree in social work, or you can apply a master's degree in counseling, or you can apply a master's degree in any of the helping field area that you are interested, that focus working with children, because you have a background that you have learned about, child development, right? Let's say if you've been taking child development and you feel like, oh my God, I love my teacher and I want to be a college professor. What can I do? Well, you need to have a master's degree in child development, okay? So once you're done with your bachelor, it depends on what field you want to get in, then you need either teaching credential or a master's degree. Now, if you're not sure what school you want to transfer to, then usually I would suggest Cal State LA. Why I suggest Cal State LA? Because here in the education program, the teaching program here at Real Hondo, we work directly with Cal State LA, and we waive the CBEST test for students who go into early childhood education or elementary education degree, because the courses that we prepare, that will waive you some of the courses up there. So here, if you do the elementary subject matter, that will wait for you for the CBEST test, okay? So I will show you the next one, elementary teacher education associate degree. So now for those who want to be elementary teacher education, you want to know what's the difference. Why should you go, should you take the elementary teacher education ADT, or should you obtain the ECE, which is early childhood education degree? Well, the end goal, they're both the same. But with the elementary teacher education, the benefit for that, you will be waived for the CBEST test. But you're not going to learn a lot more, in child development background. So with this, you gotta take a lot more general education courses. So you take a lot more GE, all area in your in general GE. So in that way you get approved to waive for the CBEST. And then when you transfer, your major will be mostly liberal arts. It will not be child development. So if you love children and you want to focus on kids and you want to have background with children, then you want to have early childhood education. But if you want to have a background in, general courses, then you take the liberal art route. So you take a little bit of math, a little bit of chemistry, physics, sciences, English, history, and everything in all area. Okay. But the good thing about elementary teacher education degree, it helps you to waive your CBEST. The CBEST, when you take the CBEST, is focused in math, English, and reading. So if you feel comfortable taking the CBEST test, you still can do the early childhood education and take the CBEST test. And you should take the CBEST test early enough so you can be prepped, because CBEST test can be repeated if you don't pass the first time. CBEST test is easy. You can just Google. So I'm going to show you the screen. I will go on the screen. Hold on. So I'm going to put in CBEST. Right here, you will see the link. Okay, so if you're thinking about being a teacher, the CBEST test is really important. Be prepared now, okay? So you get that link right there. It will show you all the exam day. You can schedule and be prepared for it. Okay, now let me go back to my PowerPoint. Okay, so now with this, it will show you, that you can, again, if you want to go with the elementary teacher education, you still need the assist.org to see what school, and mostly it will approve with the liberal arts study degree. So this will, take you a little bit in different route, but end up, you still can be a teacher. So whichever route you want to go between early childhood and the elementary teacher, you still can be kindergarten to 5th or 6th grades. Any questions up to now? Go ahead and send any questions that you want to ask.
You mentioned earlier about another child development course to take to qualify for a second degree. Can you review that?
Sure, definitely.
More? Please, thank you.
Okay, so you know how in child development, you need to have the local degree. You will have 106, 110, 111, 114, 208, 228. Plus, you need to take 9 additional units. So this 9 additional units, I usually recommend students to take. Number 1 is Child Development 102. The second one is the 224. And the third one is your choice. The one your choice, if you're thinking about later, you want to transfer, you want to take the 221, 211, okay? Or if you want to work with special education, which is really important nowadays, you take the 226. So I'm going to look at this one, and then I'm going to go to this one. You see how the difference is 102 and 224. And then the third one you can take, and I'm going to give you options if you take note. Take 211 if you're thinking to go Cal State LA. Take 226 if you want to specialize in special education. Or you can take the third one, whichever you like. If you already took something else, then we can count that also. Does that make sense? Is that clear, or I'm going to show you the catalog
Yes.
as well.
And that, and then it's not only for Cal State LA, or is it for Cal States in general?
For Cal State in general, then you only need 102, 224. And then the third one, you can take whatever, but usually we don't know which one. Then you want to go on assist.org. So
okay, because I plan on transferring to Cal State Long Beach. So I'm wondering if it might be different.
So I'm going to walk you through assist.org here. So I'm going to type in CSULB, Cal State Long Beach. I'm going to type in Real Hondo here. And then right here, I'm going to type in human development. I'm going to click on view agreement. So number one, if you look at here, it says impacted, meaning that to go to Cal State Long Beach, they require minimum 3.5 GPA. So it's impacted means a lot of students want to apply there, okay? So with this, it's that number one, take 6 units from the following lower division. So you can take anything on here, either sociology, psychology, anthro, but you need to have 2 courses, 6 units. Okay, number 2, they want math 130. Number 3, they want Psy 110. So now you're wondering why they don't need the human child development courses, right? Some of the school, they don't need you to have the child development here, the lower division. So it just depends on the school that you want to transfer. But let's say if you take GE courses and you take only this, you still need additional elective units up until 60 units, and you want to graduate with an associate degree with us, because with another thing I want to tell you, the ADT, which is early childhood education, it's called ADT, meaning that you will be guaranteed admitted to one school. So let's say you have the early childhood education degree and your GPA is only 2.1. You are guaranteed to apply and be admitted to one of the Cal State. It's not your choice. So because that's an agreement. So meaning that it's always good to have the ECE degree. Yes, Nancy, you have questions for me?
Yeah, a question on why when you looked on assist, why did you choose human development over child development degree?
I don't think they have child development here. Let me double check.
Oh, okay. Because I used to teach my students about assist, and I was like, wait a minute, what?
Okay, so here the child development families, a family study. So yes, I mean, it's just depend on here. So here is the child development and family study. and it's the Psy Anthro, one course of child development, the 211. So it's depend on some school, they have certain area and other, for example, like Cal State LA, they only have child development and they don't have human development.
Okay, and then
Thank you.
so I've already taken currently taking two. I took one, two. I've taken 4 child development classes. How come they're not listed on this?
What are the 4 that did you take?
I took child development 106, 114, and I'm taking 102 and 110.
Okay, very good. So meaning that you will be able, you are working on this degree right here.
Yes.
Yes. So you are doing your courses on the right way. It's
Okay.
just that because they're not listed doesn't mean they don't need it. You do need the ADT degrees to get the guaranteed admission to one of the school, and you will have an associate degree before you can transfer. So with this is prepare you. Number 1, you will have the associate degree before you can transfer. Number 2, let's say you apply at Cal State Long Beach and you don't get in. But with this degree, you are guaranteed to get in one school, one of the Cal State that low impacted.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I was a little confused with the other one, the human development one.
Yeah. So with this, you're good. Okay, any other questions? Earlier, we have a student mentioned that she was in the nursing program, but now she's thinking about child development. Who was the student?
That was me.
Brianna. So what are you thinking of besides going to nursing? Are you planning to be a nurse and then work with kids, or are you thinking to switch your career?
Originally, I was thinking of being a nurse and working with kids, but I'm really unsure if I want to stick to nursing or completely change.
Oh, okay. And you feel like, you love kids, but you don't know what career area you want to focus in?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so after the presentation, do you feel like you know a little bit more about being teacher or social worker? Are you thinking to switch it, or what you have in mind?
Yeah, I did learn a little bit more about the classes and everything and the permit. I think I still have to think about what I want to switch to, but this definitely helped me.
All right, good.
Yeah. So to be a preschool teacher, we just need the permit. We don't need an AD, an associate's, right?
To be a preschool teacher, again, what area you want to work in? The public school only require you 4 or 5 classes. Then you get the permit, you can work. But that's, again, they pay very low. I encourage you to get an associate degree so you can work in the public school, and that will give you higher pay.
Okay, thank you.
Guadalupe have questions. When we become eligible to an associate degree, will Rio Hondo notify us? I would say we don't notify you. What you do, you meet with a counselor, and then we will help you to apply to get your degree or certificate, whichever you're eligible for. And then, if you meet with me, I can help you to apply for a permit. But it's not automatic, sometimes you see in your airplane, there's an app and it's tell you that you close to or you are done or something, that's kind of give you an idea that you're almost done, then you should see a counselor, or you can apply graduation petition on your own in Access Real under graduation petition. You can apply on your own, but I mean, we're here for you, so you don't have to apply on your own. With an associate degree in early childhood education, are you eligible to teach in preschool? Yes, you are eligible to teach in preschool, and you are eligible to apply for a permit as well. Yes, but once you have an associate degree in early childhood education, unless you don't want to transfer, but like, let's say earlier, before this presentation, I had a student, she's at Cal Poly Pomona, and she almost done. So she contacted me and she wants to get a permit to work in preschool. And I said, well, now you almost have your bachelor degree. Why don't you apply in teaching credential and get, you know, teaching credential to teach K to 5th grade or 6th grade, you get better pay. If you get the permit and you apply in preschool, the pay is lower. So it depends on, you know, where you're at. Let's say you get an associate degree in early childhood education, and you feel like, you know what, I don't want to transfer right away. I want to take a year off and I want to work. Then yeah, sure, you can do that. You can get the permit and work for, you know, a short time, and then go back to school and get your bachelor.
I have a question. How do we get the work hours that are needed?
Yeah, very
How
good.
do we get those?
Yes. So you need 3 hours per day, but how do you get it? Usually, easiest way, you can volunteer in preschool. They love you to volunteer there. Then, you know, let's say you do 3 hours per day, 50 days, volunteer, or someplace, if they want to hire you pay, they can do that too. So when you apply, you just walk in. Let's say you said, you know, you're looking for a position that works directly with kids. You can be an assistant as long as they give you a chance to be in the classroom. Then, you know, it could be pay or non-pay. It depends, negotiation between you and the place, you know. Or you can go to the child development here on campus and ask them if you can volunteer there.
It can also be at elementary school, right? It doesn't have to be pre-K?
It has to be preschool. It has to be preschool setting to get the experience if you want the permit. Remember, the permit is only good if you want to be preschool. If you want to be kindergarten teacher or work in elementary teacher, you don't need the permit. That means you need a bachelor and you need teaching credential. Is that clear?
Okay, I understand now. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's 2 different things. Preschool teacher, you need the permit and the associate degree. And then if you want K to 5th or 6th grade, you need a bachelor degree. You need CBEST test. You need a credential and CSES. Any other questions?
How often do permits need to be renewed?
How often the permit have to be renewed? Usually, if I'm not wrong, I think it's 2 or 3 years that you have to be renewed. And every time you renew, you have to either upgrade it yourself or update it, meaning some of the permit, like let's say you have associate teacher permit, they want you to upgrade it to the teacher permit. And then if you have the teacher permit, then when you update it, you need to attend conference, or you know, have hours in like doing like community or something. But if I'm not wrong, I think in 2 or 3 years, I forgot. I didn't check that information. But you can go to the childdevelopment.org, and that when we can apply for the permit. If you need help to apply for the permit, I can help you with that. But that's the website where we can get free stipend. Because usually when you apply for the permit, it costs you at least $100 for the permit. And you also need to pay for the life scan. If you apply through the childdevelopment.org, that's the consortium, you will be able to get waived for that money. When you go for life scan, you send in the receipt, they will reimburse you. And you don't have to pay for the permit. They pay for you. Anything else? We good?